Breeders' Cup Classic, the granddaddy of them all, as Brent Musburger would say. This is the race everyone's looking forward to, but unfortunately we're not going to see the horse everyone's looking forward to as Sovereignty scratches out midweek, leaving a very wide open field of 9, really 8. Don't bet contrary thinking. I don't care what the price is. This horse is in here as a rabbit, and we're going to start out with that. If you're new to horse racing, every now and then you're going to see a horse entered that is a rabbit. So in this case, Sierra Leone and Contrary Thinking, same ownership group, same trainer. The idea is Sierra Leone needs pace, or else he cannot win the race. So let's enter a horse who is just surely going to go as fast as he can, as far as he can, and force pace into the race. That's what Contrary Thinking is doing. He is not trying to win. He is not trying to place. He is not trying to show. He is simply trying to go fast early. Do not use Contrary Thinking. Do not bet Contrary Thinking. All right, that's me off my soapbox. With that being said, of the other 8, Aaron, who do you like here?
Well, Contrary Thinking, obviously, is who I like.
Yeah,
right?
obviously, yeah. I'll bet he's ahead at the quarter pole.
Right, he will be. Yeah. Well, maybe. Sometimes he doesn't do his job.
Yeah, he does
that's
forget
another story.
what he's supposed to do every now and then.
Yes. All right, look, I think this race with Sovereignty out, it just to clarify, Sovereignty's been my pick in the race for like 2 months, right? So with him out, I think you just kind of have to pick your poison a little bit. And that's the reason why he was on top for me, because I didn't see a lot of flaws with him. These other horses, I don't want to talk negatively about them all the time, because they're very good. You know, all these but Contrary Thinking are legit, really good horses with a shot to win this race. But they have their flaws, right? And I had to just kind of, okay, what flaw can I live with? I couldn't live with Fierceness as the favorite being as inconsistent as he's been. I'm going to put him on tickets. I don't really want to rely on him, though, because he's so inconsistent, and I don't think the price is there to kind of match that inconsistency. He certainly could win the race, though. I bet Forever Young last year. I'm not going to do it this year. His races here in the United States have been a little underwhelming to me. I know he ran fantastic in the Kentucky Derby, just come up short. He didn't run all that well last time in this race, I should say, the Breeders' Cup Classic. He was good, but he wasn't great. And I look at a lot of his races, and I think he's good. I don't know that he's like a world-class great horse. The Saudi Cup was the one that stands out. That one was unbelievable. The rest of them haven't been unbelievable. So I kind of worry about him. I'm talking in circles. I'm delaying it, but I'm going to go with number 7, Sierra Leone again. I just look at him and go, look, he runs the same race every time. And if the rabbit can do its job just a little bit and get that pace going, I don't think he needs a 44 pace like last year. I think if we can get a 45 or a low 46, I think he's in there with a big shot. I'm going to go number 7, Sierra Leone. I hope he stays. He's 7-2 now on the morning line. Hopefully he's around there. I don't want him if he gets bet down, but I think at the price, number 7, Sierra Leone makes the most sense.
Yeah, the betting in this race is going to be fascinating. Just to hammer home how good this field is, the last time every one of these horses crossed a finish line in North America, they all ran 100 buyers. Every single one of them. I cannot remember a time that we've seen outside of Contrary Thinking, who we're just not going to count if you haven't figured that out for this entire section here. I want to see how this gets bet. I really do, because I like Sierra Leone at 7-2 is almost too short for me in this field. Forever Long at 7-2 is definitely too short for me in this field. Fierceness at 5-2 I think is interesting, but I can't go back there because his best is probably the best. But I don't know if we're going to get his best. This was your favorite last year. We got what was a phenomenal effort, but just not good enough because of the pace that we saw. I don't think we see anything close to 42 or 44 again this year. We'll see if we get kind of that 45. I think it's going to be high 45, low 46-ish. Now, the difference between where Contrary Thinking is and where the second place horse is, I think also could matter because like Contrary Thinking may go 44, but if he's ahead by 5 lengths, that means the next horse is going 45, right? Because every length is a basically a fifth of a second for horses. So it's going to be interesting to watch the pace. I don't think it's going to be that crazy here. I am going to go for a price. And one of the main reasons is because I don't want to swallow a shorter price when I don't think there's as big of a gap between all 8 of these horses than the odds boards necessarily suggest. And that's going to lead me to the number 10 Antiquarian here, 10-1 on the morning line. This is a 4-year-old that has just gotten better as the years have gone along here. And last year ran in the Belmont and ran okay. We didn't see him after that, but won the Peter Pan prior to that to be able to step forward into it. Comes back in allowance, wins at Gulfstream, comes back in the Grade 3 Blame. We both picked him in that race. He loses to Mystic Dan, but he loses to Mystic Dan because he blew the turn. He would have won that race had he not blown the turn. Comes back in the Suburban, loses to Phileas Fogg, who absolutely had everything his own way, just coasting up front, had a paceless situation, but still made that very close at the end, and then comes back and wins the Jockey Club Gold Cup. And yes, there's a caveat there. The horse was, we did see Mindframe go down in that race. There was trouble in the the first time through the stretch for Sierra Leone, but still beat Sierra Leone. Felt like he had something left in the tank. Ran a 108 buyer that day. Why can't Antiquarian take a step forward? And if he does, his best is all of a sudden right there with Fierceness. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it's definitely possible here for a 4-year-old who's now entering his late 4-year-old season, one of the times you see these horses mature the most. And I'm not swallowing 7-2. I'm not swallowing 5-2. I'm getting 10-1, and I think I'm getting every bit of that price, by the way, on race day. I don't think Antiquarian's taking a ton of money in this spot. So give me the number 10, Antiquarian, on top here, taking a little bit of a shot in the Classic.
Yeah, and I can't really, argue much with all you said because it's accurate, right? It's
Thank
just,
you.
I think, look, I've always said this about you. When you take a shot, it's not, hey, I'm just going to, let's just throw something against the wall and see if it sticks, right? Like it's not what it is. I mean, you made all logical cases. How can you really argue any of it? Just go look at the past performances yourself if you want to, and he's right there. I question if he is truly good enough to make that one last little leap and win the race. He did win last time out. His stablemate lost the jockey, and his other rival jumped over the jockey at the time around the
very
corner
athletic
the
move,
first
honestly,
time.
by Sierra Leone.
It helped him. Yeah, it definitely helped him. So, but look, we've been waiting on that horse to run that kind of race, and he did it. So, I can't argue with you at all. I hear you on not wanting to swallow a price. This was always my problem here. It just is tough, like you said. If you're going to back Fierceness in this race, you do have it in your back pocket. Okay, his best race wins.
Yep.
It's just a coin flip what he's going to do, right? And again, I get why people are betting Forever Young. I'll have Forever Young on a ticket. I'm not there with the complete hype on him either. I'll tell you the horse I almost picked, and is the horse that lost the jockey last time out, the number 8 Mindframe. If he would have finished that race, I think he would have been my pick. I just worry he has not ran and finished a race with a jockey aboard since June, and that bothers me, obviously, big time. But this horse has defeated Sierra Leone twice. He did that as a 3-year-old. He did get injured. He couldn't run in the race. He's undefeated in races where the jockey stayed on him this year. So I thought he made sense as well. What did you think of Mindframe?
I mean, again, another one where if you want to make the case, I think you definitely can, right? And that's the beauty of this is because you can knock Sierra Leone, and because you can knock Forever Young, because you can knock Fierceness, because you can knock Baeza, because you can knock journalism, you can find ways to Antiquarian and Mindframe if you like those directions. Now, Mindframe needs to take a step forward, much like Antiquarian, and I have more questions about how he's coming into this race because of what happened last time, and because, as you mentioned, we haven't seen him finish a race in almost 9 months now. And so that to me is where the real concern is around Mindframe. But again, like if you want to make the case, hey, he would have gotten better in that race, and then logically he takes a step forward, and all of a sudden he's the best horse in this race. I can't dispute what you are saying. I think it's just I'm a little more concerned about what happened for him, and that's why I didn't put him there. So underneath horse, am I crazy that I think Nevada Beach can hit the board? Number 3 horse, 20-1, Bob Baffert. Huge effort last time. I bet this horse to win last time in that Goodwood. Ends up beating Full Serrano, who just kind of couldn't get the 1 1/8. But Nevada Beach very much could, and I thought was going to be better at 1 1/4. The numbers aren't good enough to win unless you take a monster step forward. But this is a 3-year-old for Baffert that's now second off the layoff. It's by far the toughest field he's faced. But am I crazy to say that he can hit the board, hit the trifecta here at 20-1?
Well, I've got bad news. If he does, you probably won't show up to work for the rest of your life, because if the 10-3 exacta comes in, I don't think you'll have to do talking at the track or what is this called? VSiN Live, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Talking. I don't know. What is the name of this? I don't even know. But anyway.
Too many shows this week. They all run together.
We're at that point. I've called it Talking Track, which is a show I haven't done in like 6 months. But anyway, so yeah, listen, a VSiN at the track. That's what it's called. So, look, I said this on an earlier show. I said, if this was a different running of the Breeders' Cup, meaning let's say 2023 is running.
Yeah.
I think Nevada Beach could win.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very unlucky that he's coming on, but now he has to face this field. I think that's the problem with him. I cannot say you're crazy. I cannot say anybody's crazy if you want to play him to hit the board. To me, it's just we got to do too much too quick. And you're right. The last race was very good, but this is a totally different ball game. I don't know that he could do it.
Yeah, again, not on top for me, but I think I'll be using him in like my supers, right, in the third and fourth spot, things like that, trying to inflate a price there to see if we can get a nice number home here, because he balloons this. He's clearly the longest shot on the board outside of contrary thinking, so if he's able to hit it, I think that makes a big difference there. Let's talk about the 3-year-olds outside of Nevada Beach, who's 3 as well. But the 3-year-olds that everybody really wants to focus on, Baeza and journalism. Baeza coming off of a win in the Pennsylvania Derby where he, looked pretty good, beat Magnitude by 2 1/4 lengths. And before that, ran second to Sovereignty to Jim Dandy. Probably the closest anyone's come to beat in Sovereignty, although Sovereignty didn't really try in that race. Journalism comes in here off a second-place finish in the Pacific Classic after winning the Haskell. What are you doing with these 2 3-year-olds? Are they going to make any of your tickets? And which one do you think beats the other?
I was hoping you were going to forget about that. Journalism, I think, beats Baeza.
Oh, come on.
Listen.
Kid's got no
we just
spine.
interviewed Jeremy Plonk, and it was a great interview. You can tell, horse racing guy. You know when you talk to somebody, they're a horse racing guy. That truly is for sure. Listen. I thought he made a good point. This horse kind of got a little bit of a break, and I think that was needed, talking about journalism. So, and for me, honestly, Mike, it's just getting a different jockey. I do think it's going to help. And I'm with you. Like, I don't think Rispoli really cost this horse at any point. I don't know that he really helped him at a lot of points as well. I just kind of feel like journalism, you kind of got to go with him again. I will say, though, Baeza is a horse that seems to be getting better. I think like the Haskell version of journalism, I think Baeza can beat that version, but I don't know that he can beat like the best version of journalism. So yeah, look, I think journalism, if you can go deep enough as a horse to put on the tickets, I do. And here's the thing, about him, you know what he's going to do. He runs every time. He shows up. He brings it every time. It may not be good enough. It hasn't been good enough in spots, but the race he's going to run. So I do trust journalism just a little bit more.
Yeah, 9 for 9 in the exacta going a mile or longer. That bodes well, considering we're going 1.25 miles here in the Breeders' Cup Classic. It would be journalism over Baeza for me. I'm probably not going to have either on my trifecta or superfecta tickets now that I've kind of gotten in here. I'm going to lean toward the older horses here, and if I want a 3-year-old, I want the one that is 20-1 in Nevada Beach on those tickets versus a horse that is going to be sitting on the board. Like, I think journalism takes money. I think Baeza has a chance to float a little bit here, but I think journalism gets bet in this spot. And so for me, if I'm taking any 3-year-old, it is the new shooter 3-year-old, the 3 Nevada Beach on some tickets. Number 10, Antiquarian for me, 10-1 on the morning line in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Number 7, Sierra Leone, going for back-to-back winners here, 7-2 on the morning line in the Breeders' Cup Classic for Mr. Halterman.